Yeah.
Welcome to my channel. If you're new, I'm Amanda. Today's video is going to be a cooking slash story time. It's going to be pretty much like a quick little video. I'm going to share how I got Arya, my second golden. Today's video is going to be kind of like a chilled, like laid back video. I have to cook dinner. Today's Sunday. So my sister actually came up with the idea for this, so thank you to her. Just like a story time slash like cook with me. I am just like putting some burgers in the air fryer, and then maybe like corn on the cob I'll put in there too. Maybe some like tots, like tater tots, the broccoli tots. We'll see. Don't ask me why I still have an American flag in my kitchen. I bought that from Amazon and I meant to put it outside, but I still haven't got around to doing it, so I just left it in here. I got some patties, like burgers, from Aldi this past weekend, and I normally get my meat from Publix, and I'll just use their pre-made burgers that they already have. They're amazing. I love their meat. But I just thought I would try something new. So Aldi, I was in there just getting snacks and stuff, and then I saw that they had beef burgers. I'll show you what they look like. They look like this. They're in a bag. There's like a whole bunch of them. Just a whole bunch of patties. So I'm gonna try them out. The air fryer makes everything taste amazing, so I just thought I would try it out. I was checking my fridge, or my freezer. I have steamed veggies. I have this I could do as a side. That looks pretty good. I might do that one. Or I have these sweet potato tots. These look amazing. So I might just put those in the air fryer as well and see how they are. My shirt is really weird, so just ignore it. This tie was like extremely long, so I decided to just crisscross it and then tie it like behind my neck. You can't really see it. There you go. Just to get it out of the way, because it's like so long, like it's just in the way, so I decided to tie it. So just ignore that if it looks like awkward. But we have those. I have the burgers I need to season. Let me see. I'll get my seasoning. I usually put this sauce on it. I'm not even gonna say the sauce because I will butcher it. But you can get this at like Walmart, Publix, wherever. I love putting this on burgers, just a little bit. But the story time that I'm going to share is how I got my dog Arya. I have 2 golden retrievers. I absolutely adore them. They're the best dogs ever. I got this from a Black Friday deal at, I believe it was like Marshall's. I went with my mom and I got a really good deal on this. I am obsessed with air fryers. I don't keep it on the counter just because I have way too much on my counter. So I just put it in my like walk-in pantry. We first started with Paisley, and Paisley is my first golden that we got, and I'll show you her. She's outside when she comes in, but she's on a lot of my videos. We got her first, and she's about to be 7 in June. I cannot believe that. Makes me so sad. But she's turning 7. We got her when she was just like a few months old. And I'll show you all the seasonings that I use. I feel bad. I don't know how to film this so that it's like on me, but you can also see what I'm doing. I might flip the camera in a little bit, like when I actually cook everything, so you can see it. But I'm just gonna put some Lowry's, salt, garlic. I'm going to put some of this stuff. We get Omaha steaks, and their signature seasoning is so good. This stuff, I'm gonna put that on there. And then just some pepper. I don't put like a whole lot. But we started with Paisley first. She was our first golden, and we got her when she was just like a few months old. But she was always so lonely. Like, she would look so sad. That was when I first was like getting into my IT job and I was working from home. So I really didn't leave the house. So she was already spoiled. I was home with her all the time. But she was so sad and like bored all the time. So we lived in an apartment at the time. I would always try to take her for walks or to like the dog park and hope that other dogs would show up so that she like had someone to play with and get all the energy out, because I felt so bad. She would always stare at me all like sad and lonely, like please play with me or do something. Like she was just so bored. So I would go constantly on like Craigslist. I would look online. Also went to a few different shelters, and that like broke my heart. I don't think I could ever do that again, just because like I want to save all the dogs in the world. Like I just couldn't go there. And some people, I know, like I don't know everyone's story, but it just breaks my heart even more when people give up their dogs or their animals right when they're about to like pass. Like there was like 12, 15-year-old dogs that were like dying, and the owners couldn't pay for like their medical bills or whatever, so would just give them up to like get adopted. Like that is just, it just, ugh, don't get me started because I will start crying, but I just could not do it. I went to 2 different shelters and I was like, I can't do it anymore. We just stopped that idea of looking for another dog. But I would constantly still try to like bring Paisley to the dog park so that she had someone to play with. And I actually met some really good neighbors. They had dogs too, and they were just the sweetest people ever. We would have like dog park days where we would text each other, and like right after work or like on our lunch breaks, we would all meet and our dogs would just get their energy out. I just, I always wanted another dog, like just because of Paisley. I felt so bad. So time went by. Paisley is now, I want to say like 3 or 4, and or no, she was like 2 or 3. And this girl just moved into my apartment complex, and she was the sweetest thing ever. It was funny because I didn't meet her at first. I would walk past her apartment walking Paisley, and I would see her golden retriever just like staring constantly out the window at like people just watching them walk by, other dogs. Like it was just the cutest thing. He would never bark or like do anything. He would just sit there and just watch. It was so cute. Every time I went by, I was like, look at the golden, he's so handsome and so cute. So eventually I walked Paisley down to like the front of where I was. There was like a patch of grass, and it was just like on a quick little break so that I can like let her go to the bathroom while I was working. And the girl of the golden, the owner, she came out like the same time, and she was like, oh, hi, nice to meet you. I just moved in here. I have a golden too. And I was like, oh, are you the one with the golden that hangs around the window? I see him all the time. Like it was just so cool. We clicked immediately. We started hanging out all the time, and like we would go to the dog park, let their energy out. She would come over to my apartment, let her dog run around. I would go to her apartment. She would let her dog run around, or my dog would run around. Like they were just inseparable, and they were the same age. So it was just perfect. And they played constantly. We would go to like parks, and we just hung out. We became so close. She also was a nurse, and she worked like crazy hours, and I applaud nurses and doctors. Like their hours are ridiculous, like 14, 18 hours a day, like just working constantly. Like I just can't imagine. I've done that before, but like I chose to do that. I wasn't like forced or anything, so I just can't believe how much she worked. And I told her, she would text me all the time. She would be like, I'm working so late. Can you please like walk my dog or like feed him or just do something, just because she couldn't make it home. So I was like, yes. So I pretty much took care of her dog like whenever she wasn't home, which kind of became a lot because like she worked so much. So she started to feel really bad for her dog because she was starting to be gone constantly and just working so much. So she was like, I'm thinking about getting another golden, like from the same breed that I got my golden from a totally different like country. So I was like, that would be so cool. Like you should do that because then her dog will have someone to play with while she's gone, like all hours of the day or whatever. I'll still walk them and take care of them for you, but like that would be perfect. So they're always together and they're not alone. I told her, I was like, that's what I wanted for like the longest time. I was looking around for another dog so that Paisley wouldn't be so sad. But now that like you guys are here, we just meet all the time and she's happy. And I started watching her dog. Like she would drop her dog off right before work, and then I would just take care of him all day long with my dog. Like, they would just play all day. Like, literally, I was like the neighborhood dog watcher, dog sitter, even before I met her. There were so many people that would go out of town, or like just so many times I watched so many different people's dogs, and I just did it. I didn't ask for any payment. I didn't do any of that. I just wanted Paisley to have company because I felt so bad. So anyone that asked, like, will you watch my dog if I go out of town? I was like, heck yeah. Plus I work from home, so it's not like I went anywhere. So I was like the neighborhood, like, I always had so many dogs. I enjoyed it. I love animals so much, so I would do anything for anyone. But we started hanging out more, and my neighbor, she finally decided on getting a second golden. So she paid a lot of money to have, it was Arya, the second golden that she got. Arya, she paid for her and everything, got her shipped from a different country all the way to Florida, and I was taking care of Arya as much as I could with Riley. So I would take Arya, like, watch her during the day sometimes. She would stay sometimes in her apartment and just keep her blocked off so she didn't ruin anything, just to like train her kind of. But she was a pup, like few weeks old. Like, she was so young. So she was just bored and she was just alone. So she would chew through walls and like just ruin stuff. And then my friend, like neighbor, she actually got so like upset one day. It was a long shift. She hadn't slept in like days. She came to my door and she's like, I can't do it anymore. Can you please take Arya? I'm so sorry. It was just such a bad idea. I should have never got her. I just can't take care of her anymore. And I just can't do it. Like, she's chewed holes through my walls, and it was just like a lot for her. It's like taking care of a baby, kind of. Not like, you don't have to change their diaper and everything, but it's just a lot for a puppy. Like, you have to give them as much attention as you can. And my friend at the time, she was working so many hours that she just could not do it. I tried to help as much as I could, but there's only so much I can do. So I was like, absolutely, I'll take her. I would love to have Arya. So that is pretty much the story on how we got Arya. My friend actually named Arya from Game of Thrones. I've only seen like I think a couple episodes from the first season. I need a lot of time and dedication to actually watch it because like each episode's like an hour long, and I think there's like 5 seasons. So it's a really interesting show, but I just need the time to sit down and watch it. But I've never heard that name on a dog, so I was like, that is such a cute name. But she named Arya after a Game of Thrones character. So we bonded so much, but she ended up moving out of state, so we don't really talk anymore. And I feel bad because I do truly like love her as like a sister. I was so close with her. I feel like when she moved out of the country to be in, like, she moved to Florida, she was so new, and I guess she was just having the worst luck ever as soon as she moved in. There were so many things that kept happening, and I was always trying to be there for her as like a friend, even though I didn't really know her at the time. Like, at first, like, she would lock her keys out of the car, and then she called like someone else that she worked with at the time to come pick her up because she didn't have time to like call AAA or do whatever. And she's like, my car is so old and it's like barely hanging on. So she told me that there's a way to open up the trunk and like get through the back to get her keys out of the car. So I did that. Literally, I was that friend that would do anything for anyone. She was at work and I climbed through her trunk and then through the back seat, and I got her keys out. I unlocked her car and I gave her back the keys, and like literally everything that she was going through, I would be there to try to fix it. Like, I truly adore my friends and my family. Like, anything that my friends or family needs, like, I would do anything for anyone. So that's just like a little, there was something else. There's so many other things that I did, and she did it back to me. She was such a good friend. Like, we were both so giving. Like, I just felt bad because her luck was so like bad when she first moved to Florida. And I was like, it's just a couple bad days. It's not a bad life. So I was like, you just need to hang on. I'll be there for you. I'll help you. And like, whatever you need, I'm always there. So I don't know. She was just such a good friend. It just sucks that she moved out of state because now like she's totally on the opposite side of the United States of me, but I do adore her. She's such a good friend. I will show you what I did so far. It's kind of a mess, so don't judge me. I wanted to share where I got Arya because I'm so thankful and happy that we do have her. It does break my heart though that she like spent the time and the money and like really wanted her, but I don't know, things happen in life, so I'm just so grateful. And those two cannot be separated. Like, they adore each other. Hi, can you sit? Can you sit all pretty? This one's Arya, and this one's Paisley. Paisley and Arya. Such beautiful puppies. Such beautiful puppies. All right, back to cooking, because I'm starving. So I seasoned the burgers. Don't judge me, it's a mess, I'll wipe it down later. But this is the air fryer. You gotta put everything in here, which I will do. I think I can only cook 2 at a time because they're really big. Yeah, I can only cook 2 at a time. I will pop these in here. It is so nice, I love this thing. Ooh, it's good. Okay, so you push power. And then, let me make sure this is on. And then you want to put it, I'll do 5 minutes on each side at 370. Like one side I'll do 5 minutes, I'll flip it and do the other 5 minutes, but that should be good enough. And then these I will put on next. I had asparagus in there that I was gonna cook up, and let me see if I can put this back. I had asparagus in there that I was going to cook and corn on the cob, but I don't think I'm gonna cook it. I'm feeling lazy. I'm trying to think of another story time. That was pretty much like the quickest story time ever on how we got Arya. I am so thankful that I ever got her. Like, she's the best dog, and same with Paisley. Like, they are inseparable. Like, they are the same amount of hyperness and love to wrestle, and they're just so playful. Like, I'm just so glad they're together. Because I wish I could have recorded or had pictures of Paisley a long time ago when we first got her. She always looked so sad and like depressed. Would just lay there and just stare at me all sad. Like, can we go to the dog park? I want to play with someone. Like, I'm bored. Felt so bad, but she's such a good dog. But I was definitely the neighborhood dog watcher. Anyone that went out of town or needed help with their dog, I was always there. Like, I helped everyone, which I don't mind ever. I feel like I'm weird though. Anywhere that I go, I'll probably end up taking my dogs with me. I went to Michigan once and we didn't have Arya at the time, but we took Paisley with us, and it's a nightmare having to bring dogs, but it was so worth it. I'm so glad she was able to come with us. But I drove from Florida to Michigan, and there's something else. I remember a long time ago, Arya was around like 1 or 2. She was so incredibly strong for her age. Like, she's just such a strong dog. I didn't have the best collars for my dogs. I was still learning. I'm a new like dog owner kind of. So Paisley was my first dog. So I didn't know like what would be the best leash and collar to use. Now I know those leaders that go around their mouth and then around their neck, those are perfect because they don't drag you, and like, I just love those. But I didn't know about them until like last minute, right before I was gonna move out of my apartment. And I lived at my apartment complex for 4 years. So I had Paisley as soon as we moved into my first apartment. So that was like all 4 years I had her. And then the last 2 years we had Arya. So I would watch my neighbor's dog, which is a big golden. He's so strong. My 2 dogs, Arya and Paisley, and I would be sitting there walking all 3 of them at once around my neighborhood. And I cannot tell you how many times I ate dirt. Like, I would run home like crying, and it was just a nightmare because I wasn't good at like controlling my dogs. Like, mine are so hyper and just want to play with every dog that they see, but not every dog that they see wants to play with them. some dogs just want to like kill. So I literally was like trying to fight them away from other dogs. It was just a nightmare, but it was pretty cool, like walking around with like 3 Goldens. It's just so cool. I absolutely love dogs. I'm obsessed. All right, so one side is done and then I'm going to flip them. I forgot cheese to go on top to take it out, and I like romaine lettuce. I like to put that on like as the bun. So I just get this stuff and then just use that as like the bun, like the top piece and then the bottom. And I'll show you once I'm all done. But yeah, that is pretty much my story time. It wasn't very long, but it's crazy how things happen. Like, I literally went all over. I was searching high and low for another dog for Paisley for like a year or 2 before we got Arya, and then sure enough my friend gets another dog, and I do feel bad. I feel guilty because I was the one that said that was a good idea. Like, she was asking me for advice and I was like, yeah, I wasn't even thinking about her hours and like she wouldn't be home to take care of, but I was there. Like, I thought it would be good that I was there with her to like help her. I don't know, but I'm so thankful. I spoil the crap out of my dogs any chance I can get. And there's been many times where we went into the dog park and there were just like mean dogs that would attack Paisley, and I felt bad because she's such a sweet dog. Like, she's so loving. She just wants to play with everyone. So when she would come up to like a new dog and just, it's the scariest thing ever. Having like a crazy dog attack yours, like, no thank you. A long time ago, when I was younger, I had a neighborhood friend that I used to see all the time after school, and they had like a boxer. I forget what else it was mixed with, but the dog was the cutest thing ever. It had the cutest face. It just looked so friendly and so sweet. Mind you, I think I was like 10 or maybe like a little bit younger. I can't remember. I know I was really young, but the dog was so adorable. And I think my friend was like showering or something, and I was waiting in the living room for them. And I was just like sitting there playing with the dog, and I was like, you are just the cutest thing ever. And I said it like that or something. I can't remember what I did, but I guess it didn't like my voice. It was triggered by my voice, because same, I hate my dog voice, but I can't help it. And it literally bit me in the face. And I have like a little scar, but it's not too bad, but it literally attacked my face and like just took a chunk out of my skin. I wasn't really afraid of dogs after that. I didn't really care for dogs, but I don't know, I was like a tough like tomboy. I really didn't care if I got like a cut, a bruise, or whatever. You move on. It was like a nasty gash, and it was like really bruised up looking and swollen, but it like, I didn't need stitches or anything. It just went away. So, later on in life, my mom decided to get us a family dog, and it was like a mixed, it was like a Dalmatian mixed with a lab and like some other things. It was a horrible dog. Like, it was literally mixed with so many different breeds, and it used to attack us all the time. Like, when my parents were away at work, it would sit on my parents' bed, and we would try to get it off of the bed to like get out of the room, but we would like tell it to get off of the bed, and it would just like and like go after us. I'm like, okay, I do not like this dog. I've been bitten by that dog so many times. I could not stand that dog. And then after that day, like, I was still young. I think we got that dog when I was like 10 or 11, same age. I don't know, somewhere around there. I knew I was really young. But from then on, I was like, I don't really ever want a dog. And then as I got older, I got Paisley. And now I'm like obsessed. And then I take my romaine lettuce and I make it as a sandwich. Like, this is the bun. And then I'll just put the hamburger in it. I'll show you. Just do that, and then the top piece. It's a little cheeseburger. But I'm gonna put like ketchup and mustard on it because I love ketchup and mustard. My food is done. I did try the burger. No, they're not as good as Publix. Publix burgers, like their meat, the pre-made ones, are the best. And Omaha Steak, their steak burgers are to die for. But these are pretty good. Like, if everybody's out of everything, or if you can't get a hold of like Publix meat or Omaha Steak, then I would suggest eating these. Like, they're not bad, but like, they're not terrible, but they're not as good as I thought they would be. They're all right. Thank you so much for watching this quick little video. I hope you enjoyed. Don't forget, every Wednesday and Sunday of each week I post a new video, so look out for that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in my next video. Bye.